everybody, I hope you guys are doing well. Honey, listen, the way it's been going lately, I've been trying to stay corona free, baby. Honey. But anyway, y'all know what it is. It's about them Atlanta Housewives, honey. These are really good, by the way. These little sparkling ice drinks. It's like a flavored water, but it has like a fizz to it. And it's really low in calories and stuff. It's like 5 calories or something like that. It's pretty good, you know, no sugar or whatever, but it's really good. But anyway, that's not what I'm in here about, okay? That's neither here nor there. But anyway, so let me get started. So these Real Housewives of Atlanta. All right, so the ladies are still hot and heavy in grease, honey. So they're getting up, you know, they're getting dressed or whatever. They you know how it is. Some of them are going to like a private beach or whatever to kind of hang out, while the other ones are still getting dressed. So they all end up getting dressed, and they end up going to this restaurant that Candy had, you know, set up. It's a restaurant where they're eating up in the air, you know what I'm saying? So, which looks pretty interesting, actually. I actually saw that on Instagram probably a couple years ago. And I wondered about that. Like, is that something I would do? It looks very risky, but it also looks kind of fun, you know, at the same time. But anyway, now look, now that they done did it, watch somebody gonna post that they done did it on Instagram. Somebody gonna post it. These shows have a way of, you know, inspiring people to do things, you know. But anyway, so they go to the restaurant. It's but before they go, excuse me, Candy asked Kenya, like, you know, so how you think you and Nene gonna do? Kenya like, look, I just want to have my hot girl summer. I want to continue to have my hot girl summer, whatever, you know. She was like, you know, I didn't mind talking to Nene the other day, but I just didn't want to because, you know, I didn't want it to turn into a thing about me and her when I'm dealing with this whole shit with Mark or whatever. So Candy was like, well, don't you think that she was trying to be positive? And Kenya was just like, you know, Kenya just don't trust Nene at the end of the day. She just don't trust her. That's what it really boiled down to. She just didn't trust that Nene was coming from a sincere place, you know. So then, yeah, she was like, I talked to her, but last night just wasn't a good night. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, so Cynthia and Nene seem to be doing good, you know, as far as I can see. They seem like they was doing pretty good. So anyway, so they get on the bus, they get on the shuttle, whatever, to head to the city to hang out, you know. Candy mentions that she's going to have a baby shower, so they need to mark their calendars. So she's like, you know, and I'm also going to invite the surrogate, you know. And they're like, what? You going to invite your surrogate or whatever? Because I guess some people don't feel like you should keep in touch with your surrogate or whatever after they had a baby. I don't know how that shit works because I don't know nothing about none of that, so I ain't gonna speak on that. But anyway, so Portia asked Cynthia, like, hey Cynthia, does Mike want any more children? And Cynthia's like, yeah, Mike definitely wants some more with me. And so they're like, what? Because, you know, Cynthia's 52 years old. They're like, girl, for real? And so she was like, yeah, you know, he wants more kids and everything. And so they were talking about that. And Cynthia was even mentioning how she, I guess she was trying to be funny, saying she might be pregnant or whatever with a little miracle baby or whatever. Child, please. I ain't saying a woman can't have a baby at 52, but I'm just saying, why would they want to? I mean, shit, they'll be starting all over. Mike's kids, Noelle is pretty much grown and in college, and Mike's girls are pretty much grown. Like, why would y'all want to start all over with diapers and shit? Girl, bye. Cynthia full of crap on that one. But anyway, so what else? Oh, so they get to the dinner in the sky, and Nene's freaking out. Kenya's ass starts throwing shade at Cynthia because as they're sitting there eating and laughing and stuff, Cynthia makes a mention of the wine and talking about how good of a wine it is, and how she basically was saying how it's a very I think she called it extravagant or something. She was just basically saying it was a fine wine. And so Kenya takes that time to start to try to challenge Cynthia's, you know, knowledge of the wine industry, because, you know, Cynthia got that Bailey wine cellar going on. So I understand, you know, Kenya tried to say that it was all in fun, but it's just some things you don't do publicly because it just don't look right, you know. So Kenya's like, oh, you think that's a good wine? Okay, well, are you sure about that? Because it screws on. Are you sure about that? The cap screws on. And so Cynthia just seemed like she wasn't really too bothered by it, but I don't know if Cynthia was just trying to save face or whatever, but she didn't seem to get too bothered by it or whatever. But, you know, everybody else at the table was looking like, well, damn, bitch, like, Kenya, how dare you? You know, you just steady throwing shade at Cynthia's wine cellar. Like, you know, you questioning her knowledge of the wine and shit. So then Candy's like, well, how many you selling at your place? And then, you know, to basically take the attention off of Cynthia, because Kenya was just being really shady. She wasn't being a good friend in that moment. You know, how the hell you gonna be like, oh, okay, Cynthia, well, she was like, well, what makes it a great wine? And then, you know, Cynthia, like, she really couldn't act like she honestly barely could answer the question. And then she was like, well, give me 4 red wines. Name 4 red wines. Like, don't do that, bitch. Like, don't do that. Like, I like Kenya, but don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Don't do that, you know. So, Cynthia, she didn't name the wines or whatever. So, Portia started trying to whisper to her, like, you know, trying to help her out. And Kenya's like, look, if it's about hookahs, what'd she say? She said something about if it's about hookahs. She said if it's about hookahs is something, then I will listen to Portia. But other than that, I wouldn't listen to no Portia or whatever. So anyway, that was kind of funny. So after that, you know, everyone was just looking like, what the hell? So she said if it wasn't about Hennessy and hookah, that's what she said, Hennessy and hookah. I had to look at my damn notes. So anyway, so everybody was just like, damn, she just shading her, whatever, you know what I'm saying? So she basically, like I said, she was asking her, well, what's the name of some red wines? Name some red wines or whatever. So she couldn't name them. So Candy was like, well, how many you selling at your spot? And then Kenya was like, well, I sell hair products. I don't do nothing that I don't know nothing about. Girl, shade as fuck, okay? Shade as fuck. Basically saying Cynthia don't know what the hell she doing. But here's the thing. With them celebrities, a lot of them celebrities open up businesses that they really don't know shit about. They open it up because it's a good business, because the wine industry is a very good industry to be in. What it is they have the money, they have the financial muscle to open up these, these restaurants or whatever they got going, a restaurant, a wine cellar, whatever. They have the money to open up these businesses and maximize these opportunities for themselves because of who they are, one, and the money that they have. But the thing is, I ain't trying to be funny, but Kenya, little does she know, is you don't have to have 100% knowledge of an industry that you're getting into just to, have it. You open that damn industry, you get in there, and sometimes you just learn as you go. Cynthia can always educate herself on the wine industry. That's not a hard industry to learn. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, she can have her business, because Kenya tried to say what she should know, because the producer was even like, look, Kenya, you was so pressed on Tanya, throwing shade that you saying you wore a wig, basically that could potentially hurt your business, but you're sitting up here pressing Cynthia about her damn, her knowledge of the wine industry. And Kenya got a little attitude talking about, it was not like that, it was all in fun, I was having fun with my sis, and she should know the name of the wines or whatever. But it's like, Kenya, that's not something you need to do to Cynthia publicly. And she was like, well, and if she was like, if Cynthia don't know, then we'll educate her. Okay, but you do that in private, and you don't do it in a mean-spirited way. Like you try to front Cynthia out. I didn't like that. Anyway, so yeah, Candy had to break her off like, shit, what you got going on in your place? But anyway, so they go to plate smashing after that, which looked fun too. Hell, I love to go plate smashing. But anyway, so the trip looked like it was good overall. They looked like they really had a good time. So they go do some shopping or whatever. So Kenya spots a wine place, and she's like, oh, Cynthia, you should go buy some wine. Again, trying to be shady. So Cynthia ignores her and just keeps walking like, no, I'm good, I don't want to. Kenya was just trying to be funny, and that just wasn't cool. And so anyway, Portia, and after they all, go from, shopping or whatever, Portia and they go back to their rooms or whatever. Portia and Tanya go to Cynthia, and they present her with a bracelet that they bought for her, as they were out shopping. Damn. And these bracelets have like meaning to it, where they can fight off certain energies or whatever. So Portia and Tanya specifically wanted a bracelet where, to fight off your energy from even in your inner circle. So they present Cynthia with the bracelet or whatever. She's like, oh, y'all got this for me. And they was like, yeah. They was like, we felt like, as far as you went, what happened at the table with Kenya, it was cool to joke a little bit. But at the same time, and Portia told her some good shit. Portia was like, look, it's cool at first when you joking, but then you keep on stabbing at somebody. It's like, okay, now what's really going on? Are you, you know what I'm saying? Are you just being silly or are you making me the joke? You know what I'm saying? Are you being shady as shit? And like, so Cynthia was like, well, I just give Kenya a pass because I know her humor. I know she like to be shady, whatever, but I give her a pass, especially because of what she got going on right now with Mark. And, Portia was just like, well, it doesn't really matter because when your friend is your friend, you still got to, she was like, you still teach people how to treat you, even as a friend. And then she was like, because regardless of what Kenya's going through, that doesn't give Kenya no pass, and she was just like, what she said, she was like, it was something else Portia said that I thought was a good point that she made. But basically, she let Cynthia know, like, don't be sitting back taking that shit off Kenya, you know what I'm saying, just because that's your friend and just because she going through some shit. And, that's what it was. Portia was like, at the end of the day, even if I joke with my girlfriend, listen, I'm going to still promote her wine. Like, look, she got some bomb-ass wine, and that's true. Portia's right. Don't be shady and just leave it there. You got to turn right back around and uplift your friend. If the shade is coming from a joking place. But with Kenya, I don't think it was. I don't know why you would sit up there in front on Cynthia like that. I'm going to tell you what I think it is. I think it's because deep down, Kenya knows that Cynthia I ain't going to say Cynthia's weak, but it's kind of like what Nene was saying. Nene was like, when it come to me, Cynthia wants to rub her down. I'm a toxic friend. And oh my gosh. But when it comes to Kenya, I just think that Cynthia, when it comes to people that she's friends with, like, I think if it was Eva, Cynthia would have gave Eva a pass. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but I'm glad that Portia and Tanya came and told her that, like, listen, don't take that shit off of Kenya. We understand she going through some shit, but it's just certain things you just don't do to your friends. So anyway, because hell, at the end of the day, everybody going through something, that you don't get a pass to be shady and mean-spirited towards people. So anyway, so they go talk to her about that, and Cynthia said she appreciated them for coming and talking to her and bringing that to her attention or whatever. So then, okay, so then they all get dressed the next day. They look pretty. They all look very nice and pretty. I'm gonna tell you, I think these Housewives of Atlanta, they the best looking ones out of all the franchises. They look better than the women on Married to Medicine. Oh my gosh, those women. I don't watch Married to Medicine, but those women, I don't know. Anyway, they don't look as fabulous as the women on the Housewives of Atlanta. I think the women of the Housewives of Atlanta look better on all the franchises. They do. They really do. They be slaying, honey. They hair, they face, everything. So anyway, so after they, they get dressed or whatever, they all get nice, they all get dolled up or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They get on the shuttle to go back into town and hang out or whatever, but as they're on the shuttle, they're talking about, getting with certain caliber of men, with certain, in certain tax brackets or whatever. So, basically it started because they was like, we saw a man for you, Marlo. It was a white man, older white man, because y'all know it's rumored that Marlo be fucking with older white men. So for money. So Marlo was just like, I'm more so the type that I care about him being a stable, a stable type of guy. He don't really have to be rich or whatever. I'm like that too. I care more about a stable man. I don't know. I don't have to have the billionaire. I mean, it would be nice. I don't have to have the billionaire, but I do care about a man being stable, So she was like, so they was talking about that or whatever. So, Candy was just like, when I first met Ty was in the $100,000 bracket, which is what most of y'all wouldn't even look at. But she said, shit, I figured with my coins already and his ambition, he's a go-getter, he's smart as hell. I said, I can work with that, and that's good. That's real good. But honey, Mama Joyce didn't seem to think that or whatever. But anyway, honey, so they go to this historical wine tasting place or whatever, and they go to the historical wine tasting place, and the tour guide, he's actually, it was a wine vineyard or whatever, so the tour guide, he's actually, talking to them. And so, Portia, she cut in and she was like, well, I need to introduce you to my friend Cynthia here. She just opened up a wine cellar or whatever, and she was like, and so, and so he was like, oh, well, that's nice to know. I got some people down in Georgia, and maybe I can send them your way. And I like that Portia did that. I like Portia. I like that she did that because she was big up in Cynthia. Like, look, my friend right here, you know what I'm saying, she got a wine selling business or whatever. Make some connections instead of being like Kenya and trying to tear Cynthia down. You sitting up here trying to worry about her knowledge and shit about the shit. Well, won't you just still promote her regardless at the end of the day? And I think that made Kenya look real bad as a friend. But honey, Kenya did redeem herself because she turned around and, you know, she bought, when they at the end of the tour, you know, when they went into the store to buy some of the wine, and Kenya bought Cynthia the wine or whatever. She bought her like 3 or 4 bottles to take back, you know what I'm saying? I thought that was really sweet of Kenya. But I think it just, like I said, Portia showed her up. Like, no, bitch, this ain't how you do your friend. You know, if you want to be silly and shady, whatever, you know, in a cute little way, you don't do it like that. You don't just, you know what I'm saying? So, she did that or whatever. So she was just like, you know, well, what was I going to say? Oh, yeah, so she did that. She bought the wine or whatever. And also, you know, when they was all sitting there talking and stuff, and Cynthia was asking the man some questions, and then, you know, Nene was like, shoot, I think we should all do some type of wine together, whatever. And Cynthia was like, now you talking or whatever. And then Kenya was like, well, you know, that's not my thing, but if it'll help you, I'll do it. See, Kenya needed that little check in the ass a little bit, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, when that producer asked her that producer was right on point, and she got mad. Like, it's not about that. You know, this and that. I'm just having fun with my sis. Girl, bye. You was being shady as hell, okay? You was being shady. Anyway, so then, moving right along, Portia pulls Nene to the side. You know, she's like, I just want to talk to you real quick, you know. And I'm glad that, because they seemed like they were getting along anyway on the trip anyway. So she pulled her to the side. You know, Portia was like, no, you know, I want to talk to you because, you know, I know the last time, you know, we got into it, we felt like it wasn't cute. It got really ugly. And so basically Portia let Nene know how that whole fallout affected her and how she still feels about Nene now, how she really genuinely loves her as a big sis, and she misses Nene being in her life. And that, you know, at the time when they was going through that back and forth, remember, because on social media, Nene was saying, calling her a fat ass hippo and all this type of stuff. And, you know, Portia was saying, you know, she was pregnant at the time and she went through postpartum depression, and she was just saying, like, it was just a bad time for her, period. And then the things that Nene said hurt, you know, and Nene apologized, you know, for once, you know. I ain't gonna say for once, but I'm just saying Nene took accountability, like, you know, I'm sorry. And then, you know, they both admitted that they both said some ugly ass things to each other, whatever, and that they miss each other, that they love each other. So they hugged it out, they cried it out, and they made up. So then in the next scene later on that evening, you know, they all went to dinner. All the girls met up and went to dinner or whatever. Portia tells Tanya about how good, you know, that the situation between her and Nene went, like how they had a good talk and how she feels really good about it and everything. And so they decided, hey, let's have a ruin, you know, a ruin or whatever. We get everybody together, get everybody put all their shit on the table, and we don't even deal with it no more. Let's just get it all out. This is about positivity, in the name of positivity. So them cats kept coming out. Ooh, I don't like cats. That would have just really irritated me. Like, ugh, like, get the fuck away from me. I can't stand cats. Like, they just make the hairs on the back of my neck stand up. Like, ugh. I like little puppies though, but I don't fuck with cats. So I would have been disgusted at that table. So anyway, so they had the ruin or whatever. Okay, so Nene, so they put the negativity on the table. So Cynthia addressed the situation with, you know, the whole Kenya coming off like she was being funny at first, like it was just all in fun and games, but then it seemed like the joke was on her, you know. And Kenya told her, like, look, I support you, Cynthia. I hate if I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry, you know what I'm saying. So they got that situated. So then excuse me. So then Nene and Kenya end up getting into it or whatever. Kenya's like, you know, no, Nene was like, you know, you a bully, you know, you a bully ass bitch or whatever. That's why your husband don't even want you. He don't even like you. You know what I mean? So they going back and forth, honey. They was going back and forth. She like, your husband don't even like you. Kenya called Nene ugly. Like, it was just bad. Like, it was just really bad. So they going back and forth or whatever. So then they stop for a second. Then Kenya addresses Tanya. You know, she's like, look, you know, Tanya, I want to tell you, I appreciate you for being nice to me. See, that was a humbling moment too, because here you are, Kenya, trying to be shady as hell towards Tanya, trying to bring another bitch into her situation, trying to basically assassinate, you know, Tanya's man Paul's character. that wasn't cool. You know what I'm saying? That was just messy as fuck. And so, so to turn around and, everybody publicly see you and your husband go through y'all shit, that's humbling. And Tanya was still nice to you. That's why it go to show you can kill people with kindness. You know what I'm saying? Tanya didn't have to match her bullshit. And so then can you try to say, well, I felt like when you talked about me wearing a wig, you didn't try to take accountability for that and you didn't apologize. And Tanya was like, well, no, because honestly, it just came off the heels of this shady moment that we had when you was trying to talk about Paul. So yeah, I was reacting to that. And so King was like, I receive it or whatever. So then Nene jumps back in it again and they start going at it again. I mean, it was crazy, but that was pretty much it though. But yeah, Nene started going at it with Kenya again, like, bitch, you know what I'm saying? It was just crazy. So I don't know, they would not calm down for shit. But so it went off. It was on some to be continued. I think this is the episode where Nene looked like she was gonna hawk and spit on Kenya, I think. But anyway, so that was it, y'all. It was a pretty cool episode, yeah. So y'all don't forget to check out my podcast, Conversations with Miss Marcy, on Spotify, iTunes, Apple, Google Podcasts, all of that. Okay. All right, y'all. Peace.